For my project, I chose a horse farm in Louisville, Kentucky called the Louisville Equestrian Center. At first, I thought that this was just a place where spoiled kids would go to take after-school riding lessons. To me, the facility seemed like merely a lesson factory, where they had to teach hundreds of lessons a week in order to meet their quota. But from my research, I can see that this is a place where both children and adults learn valuable life lessons and work really hard at achieving their goals. It was wrong for me to make the assumptions that I did about the barn because I could soon see that the truth was really the complete opposite of my assumptions. I spent quite a bit of time at the back of the stable where the horses were, and I got to see kind of the behind-the-scenes action. I learned that the kids and adults don't just hop on and off their horse during their lesson. They get on their horse, ride, get off, and then they spend a long time in the back of the barn taking care of their horses. They basically cater to every need of their horse once they ride because it's like expected around the barn that they need to work as hard for the horse as the horse works for them. That's Betsy's motto there. So that kind of sportsmanship and behavior seemed to be expected there. Although I spent a long time walking around the stable, I also got to talk to the lesson horse program manager, Annie Stanford, about her experience and her take of the Louisville Equestrian Center. And she explained to me that her kids grew up in that barn and had horses and took lessons, and she says that without this barn, then they probably wouldn't have grown up the way that they did and would have been involved in some things that they shouldn't have been involved in. And she says that the barn kept them out of a lot of trouble, and it also taught them character. And they are very hard workers because of it. So I also got to watch a child named Casey ride her horse. And her horse was kind of her new show horse for the year. And the instructor was yelling at her. She was encouraging her to do better, but also, it was clear that Casey knew that she could do better, and the instructor definitely knew that she could do better. That's why her instructor was so frustrated with her. So, I got to talk to Casey when she got off of her horse, and she said that, I want this more than anything, and she really just took that hard work, or took the encouragement from her instructor and went with it. And because of the small things like that I saw around the barn, I can see that there is a much deeper underlying meaning. The LEC, as they like to call it, is a place where people work hard on achieving their goals. They could be big or small goals, it doesn't matter. People of all ages are accomplishing them every day. It could be adults or kids. They are also gaining a lot of responsibility because of the expectations that are placed on them. Like when Betsy tells them, work hard for your horse because your horse works hard for you. And that is so true because sometimes these horses go 2-3 lessons without a break. And these kids give them baths after, and some of them spend hours there after the lesson. So through my observations at the barn and my research, I have learned that it's important to be involved in the equine industry in Kentucky because it is truly so large. This barn and this facility is just an example of how many kids and adults ride horses in Kentucky, and that they just ride saddle seat at the LEC. I can't even imagine how many people ride thoroughbred horses, especially in Lexington. So I think it's really important to at least have a small understanding or appreciation of the way that horses work because it's so important to our state. And that's it.